This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
Sup, everybody? It's your boy J McLovin. Hope you guys are staying warm. It's about a nice, crisp 50 degrees out here today. I'm not too bad. This is the afternoon show. If you like our content, please give us a like and subscribe. Also, if you look at our description, there's a link tree in there. You can find all of our content on here at Elite Sports Entertainment Network, as well as Gonzo's Sports Room on the YouTube side of life. Without further ado, Tony, one question for you. I got one question for you. As an old head, I'd ask Chris, but we all know Chris is a youngin of the group, so I'm not going to go to Chris quite yet. He's still a youngin. But for the old heads of the group here, I don't know if you caught any part of that game with the Rockets at all last night, but I caught the tail end of it. I caught the tail end of it after Monday Night Football, and I'm sorry. Amen Thompson, you should not have been called for that damn foul. That game was freaking robbed. I don't care what he says. That game was freaking robbed. Because you know what? If that would have been any time in the old school NBA, you know what I'm talking about, before they had all these touchings and stuff, that wouldn't have never been called. They'd have let that thing go. The Rockets would have won, and we'd have been out the door. But nope. They got the away from the ball foul, and the rest is history. God, what a time to be alive. Tony, the floor is yours.
That was a heck of a game, though. I seen a little bit of it. Well, guys, let's jump into it. Going to be talking Monday Night Football recap first, but then we're going to talk a little bit of college football, and then we got a lot of NFL. We're going to talk some New England, some Denver, some New Orleans, Carolina. Talk a little bit about Phillip Rivers, KC, Green Bay, and the NFC North. So we got a lot to go through. So let's start off with that Monday night game. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I didn't watch a whole lot of it. I turned it on after Raw was over. It was in the fourth quarter. The game was, pretty much done. Miami got a couple late touchdowns, and made the score look a little bit better. They lost 28-15, but it wasn't that close. Definitely looking at the stats, Miami had a total of 285 yards, 222 passing, only 63 rushing, and a turnover. Pittsburgh had 336 total yards, 201 passing, 135 rushing. The rushing game is really getting better with both running backs, Warren and I'm forgetting the other guy's name right now, but the running game has definitely got better, and they held the ball for about 33 minutes. So, Chris, your thoughts on the Pittsburgh Miami game?
It went about how I figured it would, but it was a tale of two halves, really. Miami played pretty good in the first half and ended up being down 7-3. They gave up a late touchdown to Pittsburgh. But like their defense was flying around in that first half. The second half, their defense came out. And I think their defense, after going in the locker room and warming up at halftime, said, "Fuck this cold weather." It didn't look like the same. They weren't flying around like they were that first half. But yeah, they were. But Pittsburgh controlled the game in the second half, and Miami's defense wasn't nearly the same. And there's more of the same for Miami. If it's below 40 degrees, they can't win. But
they're 0 and whatever. I know.
If Pittsburgh can run the ball like they were, and then with the way Rodgers can throw the ball, if their defense plays decent, Pittsburgh, if they can run the ball like they have the last couple games, could be a dangerous team. But they've just been so inconsistent with the run game and with their defense. But it was a big win for Pittsburgh because they usually don't win when T.J. Watt don't play. They were like 1-15 or something with when T.J. Watt's out. So
yeah.
So I mean that's a big win for them to find a way to get it done when not having all your guys.
Yep, most definitely. Jay, your thoughts on the game last night?
Yeah, Pittsburgh obviously is trying to solidify the divisional or playoffs. And, Aaron Rodgers said he wanted to go to a team to play meaningful games. And so, these games right now, they're meaningful because now you're trying to jockey either for division or wild card to get up in there. So all these games are meaningful.
I think if it really don't matter what Pittsburgh does their next two games, as long as they beat Baltimore in that last game of the year, they'll win the division.
correct me if I'm wrong, though. If they win just one more game, they get the division. It would seem like, right? Whether it's Baltimore or one of the other two, right? I guess what I'm saying is they got to.
I'd have to look at it, but I know from what I heard earlier, they could lose their next two games as long as they beat Baltimore, they would win the division.
How's that? Because what's the records? I thought they were both.
I mean, that's what I know. That's what McAfee was talking about. I just feel like if you just got to win one more game, whether it be Baltimore or whatever, it just seems like you only got to win one out of the three. It's like to me, it sounds like you got a 1 out of 3 shot at getting that one game.
If you beat Baltimore again, that does give you a tiebreaker.
Yeah, because you're unbeatable.
That could be the only reason I could think of is if it.
I'm trying to go back. Did Baltimore get that first? Did they get the win on the first meeting, or did Pittsburgh get it?
I think Baltimore did.
Did Baltimore? Okay, then that would make sense. They would have to beat Baltimore in case they came into a tie.
Right now, the Steelers have a game lead. Steelers are 8-6, and Baltimore 7-7.
So the games do. Yeah, I mean they can't lose the next two and be guaranteed. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I think all these damn games are meaningful. Honestly, I think they really got to win out.
Because if they lose the next two and Baltimore wins the next two, Baltimore would be one game up on them.
Okay,
and then if they beat Baltimore, they'd be tied and they'd have the tiebreaker.
Yep. Okay, you're right. Yep, that's true.
I mean, it'd probably be beneficial to win at least one out of those two games.
You want to win those games, so you don't have to worry about that. But I mean, they put themselves in position where they control their destiny. Like,
no, I totally get what you're saying. Like, and again, it's going to be a divisional game. You know, both them teams are going to be.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't want it to come down to that. You would you'd like to have a game lead going into that or actually more than a game lead. You'd like to have a couple game lead, but you'd like to win these next two and then lose, and hopefully Baltimore loses one of them.
My thing is if Achane puts 60 yards on 12 carries, right, which is about a 5 yards per carry, and I really think he only got that amount of time because of the fact that Miami found themselves in a hole. So I think that's why he was only limited to 12. I think if Miami would have been in a better spot in that second half, that Achane probably would have had a lot more yardage just doing what he was doing. My point is, if they're going to give up 5 yards per average to Achane, what the hell are they going to give up to freaking Henry when Henry comes into town?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're different styles of runners, so I know that's an issue, right?
But I tell you what, with Baltimore and Pittsburgh, both teams, you don't know what you're going to get on any given day. Both of them have been inconsistent. I think them teams are pretty much even. I mean, honestly, I don't know how you really give the edge because I mean, you would think you'd give edge at quarterback to Baltimore, but not this year. I mean, not really.
Yeah.
Not this year.
Not really. Well, and the only reason I don't give them the edge is because Lamar ain't 100% either.
Yeah.
He ain't playing fully. Yeah, I mean, there's some issues there. Zay Flowers is still pretty good though on the wide receivers, because he did get them, the game-winning touchdown, the last one. But yeah, when you got a lack of 100% from Lamar, I mean, Lamar is your main engine.
They went like 3 or 4 weeks, without Lamar Jackson throwing a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
When he came back, like the last couple of weeks, he's looked a little bit better. But them first 3 games back, like they looked bad on both sides of the ball.
Chris, who would you give the edge to? Baltimore, Pittsburgh plays. I think it's the last game of the year. Winner takes all. I don't even know where the game's at. But who would you give?
I'm looking it up right now to see where the game's at.
Hey, it's also important to note though that in this game against Miami, what's his name? TJ Watt wasn't there, obviously.
Yeah, oh, definitely. That's a big difference.
So I'm thinking, how would that affect Achane and what his production if Watt had been playing? And he, it would have been a little bit less than 5 yards an hour. Either way, I guess what I'm saying is they won without TJ Watt. And it's not like Miami is dog water. I mean, they haven't been playing pretty decent football as of yet. But I also think Miami kind of came back to reality a little bit in this game.
The game would be in Pittsburgh. Yeah. I think right now I would favor the Steelers being at home, and they've played a little bit more consistent than what Baltimore has. I think it'll be a close game. They're division rivals. They hate each other. It's going to be a close game.
There'll be some
I think being in Pittsburgh, I'd favor the Steelers.
Whether that game means anything or not at the end of the year,
Oh,
they
yeah.
hate each other. There's probably going to be some punches thrown, no matter what.
Hey, my thing, I want to go back to that Miami game real quick. My thing about that, though, was a couple of things. Number one, I don't like to see when players get hurt. But when Minka got hurt, it was neat to see, both teams come out there and pray for him and hoping it is good. It just shows you the kind of player that Minka was and what he means to a franchise. I mean, to have both teams come out there and do that for you was pretty amazing to me. The second thing was, go ahead.
It was a pretty boring game to watch. Like
it was.
The only reason I really kept it on the game was because I was watching the Manning cast. And Peyton and Eli had me cracking up the whole time. That was the only reason I even pretty much left on the game because they had They had Lanny Wilson on there, then they had Jason Taylor on there, and they were showing plays of Taylor sacking, breaking Peyton's jaw. Eli was showing some replays of that and stuff, and then they had Michael Keaton on there as well. It was, it was pretty funny. So I like watching the Manning cast, but that's the only reason I kept the game on was because I was listening to them talk.
Yeah. Did y'all see when Hollins came in for the game, like when he was walking through the tunnel, he didn't even have his shirt on, like he was like walking in that cold weather, like it wouldn't like no big deal.
He didn't have no shoes on either.
Yeah, he didn't have no damn shoes on. He didn't have a damn thing but a pair of pants. But which I mean, I guess if you're going for a model or something, maybe that was his modeling shoot. But I almost wonder if they were trying to psych them out because they had to think that they weren't seeing that, right? So I wonder if they were just trying to psych them out with all the loose clothes. I mean, even was it Rogers said that, hey, I could play in this. I play this in Green Bay. This ain't nothing for me, But you saw Miami trying to get out there on the field early, trying to get used to the conditions. It didn't do them a whole hell of a lot of favors. They still walked away with that loss. I wonder. I think McDaniels will keep his job in Miami. I do. I think he's done enough that they'll keep his job. But I think that general manager's gone, and I think they're going to get a new general manager.
They fired the general manager earlier in the year.
Well, that's right. Oh, so you got to bring in a new one. That's right.
I think McDaniels. I
wasn't even tracking that they had fired a manager. I guess I wasn't paying attention to that one. Okay,
yeah, they fired the general manager. Probably about a month ago. Probably at this point.
So now I'm wondering when they do hire a new, have they brought a new general manager yet in, or are they still floating it?
So. I think they had an interim guy, but I don't think they've done anything after that.
So I think
McDaniels is gone.
Well, right now they said he's staying, but I'm wondering if the new GM manager comes in. I'm thinking he's got to say, do they give him a shot and see what he does, or do they fire him on the spot? You think they fire him on the spot, Tony, when the GM takes over?
I think it's time for a change. He's had a pretty good few years there to get it turned around, and I think at times he's lost his team. Seems like maybe he's got it back right now. I don't know, but I think it's time for a change.
Let me ask you this: if they do fire him on the spot, who would they bring in as a head coach? Like, what head coach out there would be available at that point?
I would go. There's two different ways. You could go try to find a veteran who's been around for a while, who's had experience and had some success. Right. Probably don't have great success because usually when he's had great success, he's already got a job. So, but somebody's had some success. I think Miami's got to get tougher. So I would look for somebody maybe like a Grable type, that type of guy. And if not, then if you're going the other route, you could look at maybe offensive mind, maybe an offensive coordinator from the Rams or somebody like that. If you're going the other route for like a young guy, somebody new, innovative, something like that, maybe something like that. But I would think you want somebody gritty and tough, and then trying to bring in somebody a real good offensive coordinator to go with them. That's my opinion. Chris, what do you think?
I think they'll probably end up getting rid of McDaniel, but I don't think getting rid of your coach is going to change anything because you're still going to have the same quarterback. And I think that's their biggest issue is their quarterback. And if they was to get rid of him, they would have like a 60 million cap hit next year. So I doubt I would say he's going to be their quarterback next year again. And to me, no matter who you going to bring in that's going to fix Tua? It's supposed to be in McDaniel.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think they probably do end up moving on from McDaniel. I think a good hire for him would be Brian Dable. I think Brian Dable is a good football coach. I think he'd be a good guy to draft you a young quarterback or get you a young quarterback in there, let him work with them and develop. I mean, look how Jackson Dart was playing with Dable. It wasn't like Dart was struggling. Their issues was injuries. I believe if Neighbors and some of them other guys don't get hurt and Scatterboo don't get hurt, Dable probably still is there because that team was playing pretty good football. But yeah, I think Dable would be a good guy for Miami if they're going to look for somebody, or even a guy like Mike McCarthy would be a good guy. I think he could would come in and could get things going. They're guys that have experience. They won, especially. I mean, like McCarthy's won a Super Bowl. I mean, he has experience. But then I know Dable ain't won a Super Bowl. But look what he done with Allen, and look, like I said, he's worked good with quarterbacks. But I think their biggest problem in Miami is they're going to have to move on to a different quarterback. And
Do you think
they paid to, and they're kind of stuck with them right now.
Do you think Dable could come in and maybe help to it?
I don't know. I don't know if
my thing with that is I think McCarthy, if he came in, he would give them stability. I think he would right the ship. I don't know that he would ever get him to a Super Bowl. I mean, I still think Aaron Rodgers was responsible for a lot of McCarthy's success in terms of getting that Super Bowl. I don't know. I think McCarthy would be a good hire for them coming out of an area where they've been a little confused, haven't had things right. I think we get that stabilizing force, but I think Dable. I like that Dable idea a little bit better because I think Dable would be able to do well with the quarterbacks. I think he would do well with the defense. And I think he could get them further along. I think what hurt him in New York was he came into a really rough situation, with all the team needs and everything. And it takes 3 to 4 years really to right the ship, when you're rebuilding. And I don't know how long was he with New York? Was it, I said about 3 years? Was he right at that 4-year mark? I don't think it was more than 4, was he?
I don't think so.
I don't think he was more than 4. But I do think that Miami, if he goes to Miami, his biggest need, like you said, Chris, would be the quarterback position. I think everything else he's got pretty good stuff at. Maybe a little bit of help with the wide receiver a little bit because of Tyreek. I don't know if Tyreek, if he plans still to come back or not, what that is. But I definitely think he needs help with the wide receiver. But I think he's got more of the pieces there to work with than what he had in New York. So I think it might be a little bit better option for him.
Okay, guys, let's move on from the NFL talk for a minute. We'll come back to it, but I want to talk just a little bit of college real quick and kind of NFL because this player is probably going to be drafted in the NFL, I think, coming in this year. Vanderbilt quarterback Tiago Pava was up for the Heisman Trophy. Of course, Fernando Mendoza from IU got the trophy and pretty much a landslide vote for the most part. Pava was not happy, dropped the F-bomb at the voters, Heisman voters, and was very upset losing. Jay, your thoughts on him? Do you think this could affect his draft capital? I mean, could that drop it at all? What's your thoughts on Pava?
Yeah, I mean, we already talked about this, but I definitely want to talk about this some more. I feel like he has all the physical things that people are looking for in a quarterback. But the one thing I don't think he has is the maturity that he needs to be a professional in the NFL. Now, he's a young kid, so it doesn't mean that he can't change, he can't develop and things like that. But you got to imagine that probably is one of the things that I would look at is where's this kid's maturity at? What is he? If he's saying fuck the voters, pardon my French, but that's what he said. And I shouldn't be cussed. I apologize. If he said if he said F them, then what's the difference in him saying F to a coach or F to a general manager or F to teammates or whatever the case is? That is your most. You can get away with that at wide receiver. You can get away with it on the defense. You can get away with it running back, whatever the case may be. But the one thing you cannot get away with that at is at the field general level, at the most important leadership spot on the team. You got to be the absolute professional. That if you're going to go far, doesn't mean he'll get drafted. There ain't no doubt about that. But if you want to be a good professional leader in this league, you can't be saying F the voters. You can't be saying F the coaches or any of that other. Nobody's going to follow you like that. And so that would be my biggest thing if I was drafting a quarterback is, do I want to bring this toxicity into my locker room, or if I do bring the toxicity in my locker room, what is going to be the game plan to break the toxicity or get it out of them? And I don't think you can. I mean, a person's a person, right?
See, my thing is that, and it could have been somebody had his ear, hey man, you're going to win. But media is all around you. He had to know that he probably wasn't going to win. That's my whole issue. He should have known that very slim chance was he going to win. Mendoza was a heavy favorite. They were calling it, pretty much. So that's my thing. Why get so upset now? If they would have said, hey man, it's this race could go either way. It's 50-50 and he loses. That's one thing. But knowing that, in my opinion, I think he should have had a pretty good inkling that he was not going to win. And then to get upset and say that shows a lack of good mentality to me. But then again, that don't mean that that's going to affect him on the football field. So I don't know that. I don't think it'll affect him too much in that process, unless he interviews bad or something. If he goes to if he does go to the where they try out the players and all that stuff, and he interviews bad, then that could be an issue. Chris, your thoughts?
He really didn't show us nothing new. He's just confirmed the fact that most of us already knew that he's not a great human being. A lot of stuff him and his brothers have done if you look at just some of the stuff they've done in the past and here recently, didn't surprise me a lot. He also was out afterwards, out clubbing, and had a sign that said "fuck Indiana."
Yeah, with a little blonde off to the side.
Yeah. But here's the thing: I don't think he hurt his draft stock at all, because I don't think he has a draft stock. He ain't getting drafted in the NFL. He's 5'8". He ain't gonna get drafted in the NFL. If he plays football, he's gonna go to the CFL or the USFL, XFL. That's why he's petitioning to try to get another year to play in college ball. And the dude played 2 years of junior college, and now has played like 4 years of college. He's 23, 24 years old. Yeah. I don't think he's going to get drafted. I think he knows that, and I think that's why they're petitioning the NCAA to try to get another year of eligibility so he can make NIL money and he can play again. Because I think he knows he ain't getting drafted in the NFL. Yeah. He's 5'8". He's a decent football player, but he's trying to beat Johnny Manziel, but he don't have the talent Johnny Manziel had.
Yeah.
So any chance he did have of getting drafted, he's killing, because he ain't 6'4". He don't have all the attributes that teams are looking for in a quarterback.
He might want to switch over to running back.
They're already picking you apart, and then you're doing stuff like this. I don't think he's going to get drafted. I really don't. I think he'll probably end up playing maybe in the CFL or maybe the USFL or something. But I know he's trying to play another year at Vanderbilt if he can get it approved. But he's a decent quarterback, but what's he do great other than he's a great competitor? Like he's a small guy. He ain't gonna be able. He ain't a great runner. He ain't gonna be able to outrun guys in the NFL. Right. Yeah, I think he's one of them guys that's a good to great college quarterback, but not a guy that translates to the NFL.
And that happens sometimes. We've had some great college quarterbacks just, not been able to make it. A lot of Ohio State quarterbacks, for whatever reason.
Look at Tim Tebow. A lot of people consider him one of the best college quarterbacks ever, and he struggled in the NFL.
Yeah.
My only I pretty much buy into everything you're saying. The only thing that still kind of weighs in the back of my head is, and what you had said was, well, if it's not like they're going to grow a lot from college to NFL. I mean, they're the same height in college. He made it work in college. If he can do it in college at that height level, why couldn't he do it at the NFL at that height level? It's not like the players are going to get smaller or bigger.
Playing against a lot better competition.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he was able to,
playing against a lot better competition in the NFL as well.
You're playing against the elite.
Playing the best of the best players.
Yeah. That's a good point. How tall was, if you don't mind me asking, do you remember how tall was Brees? 5'10", or was he 5'9"?
Brees, I thought he was right at 6 foot. But
is he right at 6?
He might have just been under.
He could have been under 6, but pretty close. I mean, there's been some exceptions, but not a lot.
I don't think he's as talented as what Brees was, or some of the smaller guys. But like I said, that's my opinion. I might be dead wrong on it, but I don't think he's going to get drafted. I really don't.
I would not draft no 5'8" quarterback. I agree with you. I wouldn't draft a guy that's 5'8".
Yeah.
Unless you're Spud Webb and you can jump about 15 feet up in the air.
I mean, how tall is Kyler Murray? And I mean, that hasn't went great.
No.
Hey Joe, you gotta tune in tonight when we do Tuesday night hoops talk to find out what I think about the Rockets, because you missed my opening disclaimer when we opened the show. So now you got to either go back and rewind or tune in tonight and you get a lot more of that.
Yeah,
that's at 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
Or even look at a guy like Bryce Young. Like Bryce Young has been real inconsistent and kind of struggled. Look, he's a real small guy.
Yep. Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on. Next topic I wanted to bring up was the New England Patriots. The reason I wanted to bring this up, I wanted to see, here's my question. New England had a big lead and then got outscored 28-7 in the second half and lost that game to Buffalo. Of course, Buffalo's a pretty good team and a great quarterback for sure. I think that's the biggest thing, a great quarterback. The fact that they've only beat 2 teams 500 or better this year, even though that they've got 3 losses and won 12, 13 games, whatever they've won. Are you concerned about New England, or you're not concerned, Chris?
I'm not concerned with New England. I mean, yeah, they blew a lead, but I can go back and look at almost every team this year that's blown a lead. So it's not something they've done consistently. This is really like the first time they've had a lead like that and blown it. So you'd rather it happen now than later. But I'm not real concerned with them. Yeah, they've only beat 2 teams, but that's because they haven't played other teams that are above 500. It ain't like they've gotten beat by a bunch of teams that are over 500 either. But yeah, I'm not real concerned. I still think they're one of the top 3 teams in the AFC, and I still think they could go on a deep run.
Okay. I'm not concerned, but I am very interested in this game coming up against Baltimore. Coming up, I think it's Sunday night, I believe, if I remember correctly. I think it got flexed to Sunday night.
Yeah,
to see how they respond, because Baltimore's a decent team, and to see how they respond. And they're a 500 team. They're right at 500, I believe. Or it could be a game under. I can't remember. But I think they're about 500. To see how they respond to giving up that lead and the young quarterback. And if Baltimore plays well and is on, how they respond to that. So I'm interested in that. I still believe – I think the coach will have them ready. I'll be shocked if they're not ready because of who the coach is. I think it's going to be interesting, but I'm not concerned. Now, if they was to get beat by 14 points to Baltimore, then I might be a little concerned, But Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, here's my take. Number one, I wouldn't be worried about them because the fact that in year 1 of Vrabel and year 1 after the rebuild, first year of they're only in the second year of a rebuild, right? I mean, Vrabel, I think last year was the beginning of it. This year's the first official under Vrabel. And yet these guys are 11 or 12 or whatever their record is. I mean, they got an amazing record. They're like 11-3, I believe. But, my thing is, like Chris said, only 2 of those teams have been above 500. I'm not worried about it because I think they're on a great trajectory. Eventually, if they keep adding players and adding experience and adding all that stuff to the tool bag as they continue to go forward the next year or two, I think they're going to be in the Super Bowl. I think they have that caliber of a quarterback, coach, things of that nature. But right now, I think it's just too soon. They're untested, in my opinion. And like Joe said, they got punched in the mouth by by Buffalo. Let's see how do they respond after that. Are they going to respond and be sulking about it, or are they going to come out ready to fight? I think, like you said a minute ago, Tony, with the coach that they have, he's going to have them. He's going to lift their spirits. He's going to get them back in mode. I do believe that. But if they're just too untested against above 500 teams for me to go all in and say, yeah, this is the third best team or whatever, it's too hard. I do think they're a great team. They're going to be in the playoffs. But me personally, I mean, I think I think they're good enough, right? They should have a bye, right? Or will they get the bye in the first round? I think the record's good enough.
Not right now. They would play.
Right now, they'd be the 2 seed. Denver's number 1 seed.
Right.
Yeah. But right now, I think they would play Houston.
Oh God, If they go against Houston, man, I'm not gonna. Oh man, see,
You don't think New England's a top 3 team in the AFC
record wise? But no, actually, I think
I'm
Houston.
not saying what 3 teams would you put ahead of them in the AFC?
You're gonna disagree with me on this, and no, I'm not a Houston fan. I am a Houston fan, but not of the football Houston, right? But I definitely think that elite defense, and I do think that what Stroud is doing on offense, that they can play them and beat them. Yes, I absolutely believe that, 100%.
I believe Houston can beat them, but I wouldn't right now rate them ahead of them.
I believe Houston could beat New England, but I also believe New England could beat Houston.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said. I can't. I mean,
what 3 teams are better than New England? Is what
in the AFC.
In the AFC.
Okay, so all right. So okay, definitely Denver. Yeah,
Denver and Houston. You said so far.
I mean, you got to put Jacksonville in there.
Jacksonville's better than New England.
I didn't say they're better than New England. I'm just thinking of all the good teams. I mean, Jacksonville doesn't have a bad team. I'm just
so far.
I can see what you're saying. I mean, if I tell you right now, I think Houston is better. Record be damned. Yes, I have Houston over. I have Houston over New England. Okay, I apologize. So Denver, Houston. Where I struggle with this is I don't know if Jacksonville is better than New England, but I just don't know. I trust New England. They haven't played above 500 teams. That's such a hard thing to say. I mean, at this point, I'd almost had them as a tie. Jacksonville and New England as a tie. New England because of the record, but Jacksonville has played some tougher teams and they've held their own.
Who's better, Chargers or New England?
See, that's another team I was thinking about. The only problem with the Chargers.
I have Buffalo. I have the Buffalo Bills ahead of the Jacksonville Jaguars
because of the quarterback.
The only problem with Buffalo is I just don't trust that secondary, and I don't trust that run game or their run defense. I mean, not the run.
Yeah, I don't trust the defense. I don't trust the defense. Period.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with Buffalo. I think they can be beat because of their defense. I think their defense is just too much of a liability. I think Buffalo has to go in there and put up damn near 30 points every time they go out there on that field. Or at least close to 25 or 30 points. I don't know I forgot what the score was with New England. Do you remember what that score was? I don't remember.
New England scored about 35. I think it's 35, 31, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty up there, right?
I think a bit the way Houston's playing right now, I wouldn't argue with it. I think you could make a case. You could make a case, of course, Denver. They got the best record in football. And you could make a case Houston's playing as good as anybody. You could put them up there. And then you could put Buffalo up there because of their experience.
Right.
I mean, they've been there. And they got one of the best quarterbacks in the game. So, and the fact New England hasn't played teams, I mean, I wouldn't argue with it if you say, hey, I think New England's 4. I mean, I wouldn't argue. I mean, I wouldn't argue that. But I can't argue if somebody said, no, New England's number 2. So, because it's just so you don't know what you don't know. Like you said, New England hasn't been super tested yet, but I do think they're a good team. So it's kind of, it's kind of tough, because like you said, they haven't played a lot of 500 teams, but I still think they can beat some of these other teams. I think they can beat the Chargers. I mean, I think they can beat Houston. I'm not saying they're going to. I think they're capable of beating those teams. It's not like I think they can beat Denver. I don't think Denver's so much better than New England that New England can't beat them. So,
man, I forgot about that. That's a good one, though. I forgot about the Chargers. I completely forgot about that, man.
I think the Jaguars have beat 3 teams over 500. Like we can do that with every team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
No. I was just looking at the Jacksonville schedule.
If I'm looking at the playoffs and favoring the team, I would have New England ahead of Houston and Jacksonville. I'd have New England and Denver about tied, and then I'd almost have Buffalo in front of all of them once they get in the playoffs because of their quarterback, and I'd have New England almost second because I think Drake May's the next best quarterback. But Bo Nix has been playing real well, so that's why I'd say Denver. But I the way Drake May's playing at quarterback, I think that gives them an edge over Houston and Jacksonville. Houston's defense is great, but that offense has been up and down for the bigger part of the year.
Chris, do you trust Buffalo Because more than likely they're
I
going to.
worry about Buffalo's defense. That's why I don't have them as a top team. But once you get in the playoffs with that quarterback,
But do you trust them?
they could go on a run, and he's the most experienced.
Do you trust them though to go on the road? They're probably going to have to go on the road in all the playoff games. They're pretty close to it.
Yeah. All right. They're not my pick to win it. I'm just saying they could be real dangerous because of their quarterback.
No doubt about it. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Buffalo.
Right now, I think it's going to be either Denver.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Or Denver or New England. I think it's going to be the one probably win the AFC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. I just don't know who's. Oh, you mean make it to the Super Bowl? Okay.
The only downside to the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Oh, I wouldn't be shocked if Buffalo made it to the Super Bowl.
No, I said Denver.
No, I wouldn't be shocked with Denver or New England. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, would you be shocked if Buffalo got on a roll and made it to?
I think they're dangerous. If they get in the playoffs, they're a real dangerous team because of we've seen what if their quarterback gets hot, and we've seen defenses struggle during the regular season and be able to play just good enough in the playoffs. Like we've seen it happen. Hell, and you've seen it happen with the Indianapolis Colts in 2006 when we won the Super Bowl.
All the teams that we're talking about,
we had like a 24th ranked defense in the league or something, and then we got Bob Sanders back right there at the end of this season, and then we had a top 15 defense in the playoffs. And we were shutting down people. So like our defense was terrible.
All four teams that we kind of talked about here, Buffalo, Houston, Denver, and New England, all have a question mark. New England, I mean, experience-wise, and have they played enough good teams this year? So that's a little bit of a question mark. Denver, they don't always play great until the fourth quarter. That could come back to bite them big time in the playoffs. You don't want to play that way in the playoffs. Houston, I still don't know about the quarterback. They're really playing. The defense is really playing good. I don't know if they got enough offense. I don't know about the running game. So that's a question mark for Houston maybe to get there. And then who was the other team?
Jacksonville was the other team that Jay mentioned.
Buffalo. Jacksonville. But I don't believe in Jacksonville. That's just my opinion. I don't. Buffalo would be the other one, and the defense is a question mark there. So all four teams, and if you want to throw Jacksonville, they all have a question mark. I think could Jacksonville go on a run and make it to there? Yeah, I give them a chance, but I don't give them a big chance to make it to the Super Bowl. I think those four teams we're talking about, because the way Houston's play, I give more question marks against Houston, even though they've got the best defense and probably the best defense in football, is the running game and the quarterback. Can he keep playing like he's playing right now? So
I mean, he did make it. I mean, people keep forgetting this is the same quarterback, and I understand we could say, well, Jay was there. It was his rookie year. People didn't know him. There wasn't enough tape on blah blah blah, and that's fine. But to make it to the damn playoffs playing like that, I don't know. I mean, I think he has the experience. I think he's doing well. I think he's going to be just fine. You got to remember too, they also switched out their damn offensive coordinator. Some of that play calling they did, I didn't really particularly like. But that's neither here nor there. These are still professional athletes, and I think C.J. Stroud is making the improvements under this new coordinator to get where he's got to go. Another thing too about Buffalo, Ed Oliver is on the IR. And what was the one thing about Buffalo and New England? Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson had no problems running that ball. They ran off a numerous number of.
I don't think Buffalo is going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh no, I'm not. Calm down. Don't get defensive. I know. It's okay. I know.
So you're making the argument about the wrong team.
But I was talking to Tony.
Hey.
Because you were talking about Buffalo, and I said the only thing about Buffalo for me is that, and I really think a lot of it has to do because Ed Oliver is a hell of a good defensive tackle. And I think, and Deacons Jones or whatever that guy's name is, but he's not bad, but he's not Ed Oliver. And I think, and like I said, they let off a lot of big runs that I think if Ed Oliver had been in that game, they wouldn't have had as many of those big runs. Yeah, that's the only thing that worries me about them. Like, and Tony, I know you're in agreement. Is that defense? And defense was champions.
No doubt about it. But the thing with Houston is, again, their defense is great, and their offense has been playing better as of late. But that's
all that matters is as of late.
True, but that's the thing. Can they keep it up? The running game.
Yeah.
Can the running game keep it up? And can the quarterback keep it up? I'm not saying he won't. Right. I'm just saying. Right. I mean, you got to remember he's had a year and a half where he didn't play that great. Yeah. Now he had a year before
Yeah.
that he played.
No, I agree.
Fantastic.
100% agree with that. 100% agree.
So,
Not gonna say that. Not gonna say that he didn't go through the sophomore slump, right? I mean, and sometimes it happens too.
It happened.
You know,
It happened.
but Tony, you know how it is in sports, especially in baseball, right? It's all about riding that momentum, right? And if you get the momentum going into it, then you're good. If you don't have the momentum going into it, that's not so good.
Well, the best thing that happened to him may have been that he got hurt, got to sit on the sidelines, and got to see his backup quarterback come in and see how he played. You know, he went on a win streak,
Right.
and maybe that got his head right because he's played better since then. You know,
Yeah, and here's the thing too. So I was looking at Houston's last three. I was curious to see who Houston's last. I'm pretty sure at the end of that season, or at the end of this season, I believe they play. I know they got you guys. We have the Colts, or they had the Colts one more. I don't know why I keep saying that. Y'all done got me in that mindset, man. They had the Chargers at the end. They had the Colts, and there's a third team in there. And I don't remember what the third team was, but Houston still has a couple of more opportunities against some good teams going into the playoffs. If they can win out, then like to your point, Tony, you know, can he ride this momentum? Well, let's see what it is. The last three games aren't going to be easy for him. So I'm curious, and they're still fighting for the division because they still got to. I mean, they're not shooting for anything right now.
No.
So I think they still got to win the division. I don't know where they are in the wild card. I don't think
the Broncos have a lot of momentum going into the playoffs too. They're on an 11-game winning streak.
Yeah, Houston's number 7 in the wild card, so they're barely hanging on the wild card. They're number 7.
No, that's what I'm saying. So they can't lose anything, really.
But they're only a game back of the division too. So, it's going to be interesting. Okay, guys. Next up, Denver beat Green Bay 34-26. Is Denver's offense peaking at the right time? And do you believe in Denver, Chris?
I do believe in Denver. And about a month and a half ago, I would have told you no because of the way their offense was playing. The way Bo Nix was starting to trend. Into last year he was looking good. Beginning of this year he was struggling, and then over the last month he's been playing some solid football. I still think sometimes they start out a little slow. Some of that, I think, is also Sean Payton. Is just the way he calls the game. He's a little conservative. He knows he has that defense, so they make sure they don't put the ball in harm's way and don't do anything stupid. Their defense is right up there with about anybody in the league. I know Houston has a great defense, but so does Denver. I put Denver's defense right up there with them. But this Broncos team has turned me into a believer.
Yeah, I believe in them too. My question mark for them is the running game. But again, I don't think the running game has to be 150 yards. I think if they can run for 80, 90 yards and eat up some time, that helps the quarterback and also helps the receivers because I don't know if they have a true number one. I think they got a bunch of number twos at the receiver position. I think that's something they still got to work on in the future. But I believe in Denver. I believe Denver could make it to the Super Bowl. So, I do believe. Jay?
My question with Denver is, and it has nothing to do with that. I'm just wondering, do you think they're going to play their starters the last 2 games of this season or the last game of this season, given the lead that they have? Do you think they go into preservation mode to avoid injuries? Because they should be able to win the division. They're going to be in the playoffs no matter what. So would you play your full team, or would you kind of scale it back a little bit and then go into the playoffs?
I would play until I know I got number 1 wrapped up. Because home field advantage, everybody's got to go through Denver, is a huge advantage for Denver.
Yeah, they're not going to rest nobody unless they get that bye locked up. And right now they're only 1 game ahead of New England for that. So they're.
Now it could come down.
They would probably play
I don't know what the tiebreakers are. If it comes down to the last game of the year and there's still a game difference, but even if New England won, Denver had the tiebreaker, then I could see them rest players. But as long as that game means something, they're going to play the players because, hey, I'm telling you, Denver's a tough place to play. That's been said for years. And if they get home field advantage, that helps their chances.
Juan Sanchez says Bears are going all the way. Well, they certainly do. They look like they have a pretty good team over there. I can't really refute anything about that. But I will say this. I misspoke a minute ago. The Texans have the Chargers, and then they wrap the season up with the Colts. The last game for Denver actually is the Chargers. And so, I agree. They got Jacksonville left. They got the Chargers left. And then they got the Chiefs at the very end of it all. Or no, I'm sorry, it was Jacksonville, Chiefs, and Chargers. So those are those last three. So they still got some pretty good teams. Now, obviously, Chiefs don't have Patrick Mahomes, so that's going to be less for them. No, Denver is going to wrap up with the best record in the league, unless barring injuries. I can't imagine that they don't wrap it up like that. So yeah, if you want to put Denver, at the end of the day, I do believe Denver's the best, one of the best teams. I do believe New England is one of the best teams. Houston's one of the best teams. I don't think that my only handicap with the Chargers is his broke hand or that messed up hand. I don't know how much that's going to hamper him as he continues to go throughout the season. I don't know. That's the only thing that kind of.
The question mark I have San Diego still against the run. They still give up a lot of running.
Yeah,
still give
and
up
they
a lot
do.
of running.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Next up, guys, let's go to the New Orleans Saints. Who thought we'd be talking about the Saints right now? They've won 3 in a row, guys. They beat Carolina twice. They beat Miami and Tampa Bay. So I mean, what? My thing is, what the hell changed with New Orleans? I mean, their defense has really played well. That's one thing. Their defense has really improved. But since they went to the quarterback, he has stabilized the team. Not that he's putting up great numbers or anything. He's not. But he's not making mistakes. I think that's the big thing. I think the new quarterback is not making mistakes. Chris, what do you see? Why has things changed? I mean, they beat Tampa Bay, who's a good team, and I know they've got some injuries, but they beat them twice this year. What's changed?
The quarterback. I mean, the guy isn't flashy, but he's playing pretty good football. He's not turning the ball over a lot, and they got pretty good defense. Their defense keeps them in games. But yeah, they put this Shook in, and I mean, if you look at his numbers against Carolina, 24, 32, 272 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, and he was sacked 5 times. So he didn't get rattled by getting sacked. I think, I'm not saying they found them maybe their franchise guy, but they found a decent guy, and he was a 2nd round pick. So they thought he could be pretty good if you take a guy in the 2nd round. So and they might have end up finding their guy. They'll get to see more of them in the rest of this season. And hell, they could win their last 3 games and close the year out with a 6-game winning streak and finish like 7-10. Like if you look at their next 3 games, they're winnable games.
Yeah. Yes,
they play Tennessee. I forget who else now.
Yeah, I looked at it earlier. They were 3 games that they had definitely got a chance to win for sure. I mean, I think they may have found the quarterback. I mean, if you build an offensive line where he don't get sacked and you get him a receiver and a running back, it looks like you got the defense there for the most part. They
play the Jets. Play the Jets, the Titans, and the Falcons.
That's 3 winnable games.
I mean, them are all games that they're capable of winning. Not that they will, but they're capable. And hell, that'd put them. Finish the year on a 6-game winning streak with a rookie quarterback and a first-year head coach.
Yep,
as well. So.
Yeah, I think that coach might be changing the culture there a little bit. So, I mean, that's another thing we've talked about. Culture makes a difference. So,
the thing that hurts them is I still think they're basically in cap hell still from when Sean Payton was there. So I think it's still another year or 2 before they're going to have any cap room.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to really hit on their draft picks, don't they? They got to hit. Okay, Jay.
Yeah, so a couple of things. Number one, it's interesting that Show made his debut this year, and so did the kicker, that guy from Ireland, made his debut with them in this game. So essentially, he had 2 rookies, one's the kicker, one's the quarterback, but they both are playing extremely well. I'm reading with the damn kicker's name, but I know he converted both of his field goals last night from almost 50, close to 50 yards apiece. So I mean, he and he had a couple of clutch drives. One thing I like about Kellen Moore, when he was with the offensive coordinator with the Eagles, the offense looked really well. Like it was running really smooth, not too many issues. This year with the Eagles, you see them kind of having all kinds of turmoil or whatever breaking down in that offense with the Eagles since he left. They had the new guy, Petrugu or whatever I can say the guy's name. But when you see what Kellen Moore is doing with the Saints, and like Chris said, man, I mean, it's not like they have a lot of cap room, right? I mean, this team needs a lot of work, and like you said, it's going to be done mostly through the draft. But Shook or Show, however you want to say that guy's last name, I've heard it pronounced 2 different ways. When you look at him as a rookie quarterback, I actually I think he's in a good position and a good spot being with the Saints because Kellen Moore is an offensive-minded guy. I mean, that's what he was, offensive coordinator. So you know he's going to develop that guy, and he's going to put stability around him. Give it time. I mean, they're going to have to build this team. But I do think that Show could be the guy in the future. You know, what time will tell. But he's got to go in the right spot, and Kellen Moore has that team going in the right spot. And Kellen Moore has come – you know, he knows what a winning pedigree looks like. So I you know, I've got to put more faith in it. Devin Neal did go down with injury last night, so it's not, or the other night with Carolina. So they didn't really have much of a run game. But when you look at what Show did, 300 yards from scrimmage, if you add the rushing, 300 yards and a touchdown, 5 sacks, but no interceptions and no fumbles. I mean, I don't know how much more you want from a rookie.
Yeah, that's damn good for a rookie.
Yeah,
that's damn good. Okay, next up, guys, Carolina. Carolina lost to the Saints this past week. Went into that game and could have end up having a game lead over Tampa Bay if they beat the Saints. A game that they were I'm not going to say heavily favored, but definitely favored in. Did they blow their big opportunity? I mean, now they're tied with Tampa Bay. There's 3 games left, but that game, if they win that would have given them a game over Tampa Bay. Did Carolina lose the big opportunity? Chris?
No, they didn't. And the only reason they didn't is because they played Tampa Bay twice.
No, they got 2 games
in the next 3 weeks. So, I mean, if you're going to be tied with the team, what better way to figure it out? You get 2 chances at them. So,
true.
I mean,
it could have been a big advantage.
I mean, yeah, they would have had an advantage, but I mean, they didn't. I don't think they blew it just because of that. If they didn't have 2 games against them, yeah. And I mean, if you look at that game, they had control of that game against the Saints in the first half and fell apart there in the second half because it looked like they were going to win that game and go and have that game lead. The Panthers are just so inconsistent. One game they look like a pretty good football team. The next game you just don't know what you're going to get. But I mean, they control their own destiny, so they can't ask for too much more because I mean you win both those games against Tampa, you're in. Or if you beat Tampa once and who's your other game? The other game's Seattle, so that's going to be a tough one as well. So I mean, it's basically going to come down probably to the 2 Tampa games. But if you can, but hey, we've seen them beat some good teams. We've seen the Panthers beat. Didn't they beat the Rams a few weeks ago? If I remember right.
Yeah, I believe so.
Isn't that who the Rams messed around and lost to? But
the Rams?
Yeah, it was the Rams. They beat the Rams.
It was the Rams. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, I mean, they can beat good teams. So that Seattle win, I mean, that Seattle game is probably going to be a good game. Like, we just seen Seattle beat the Colts by 2 points or whatever. So, I mean, but yeah, they got three tough games to finish the season out. But hey, you beat the Bucs, you're in. I mean, you can't ask for too much more, especially after losing last week. You still control everything.
Yeah. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah. You know, nobody ever ruins anything. I mean, as long as you have a fighting chance, as long as you're not mathematically out of it, and like Chris said, they do control their own destiny. They have to win, no, but it is within them. It's within them and not having to rely on somebody else, right? So, but so much to be out of both sides of my mouth. So one side I'm saying they probably didn't, but at the same time, I think they kind of did. But the reason I said they kind of did was because of the fact that you still got to go against Tampa, which, by the way, it has a healthy Mike Evans back, and Mike Evans actually really played pretty well last game, even though he did take that one shot to the stomach, but they said everything was fine, no issues, no setbacks. So you're going to have a fully operational Tampa team, you know, whereas Tampa has been inconsistent for a little bit, only because of injuries. Bucky Irving now is back. Godwin's there. Everybody's there.
Irving and Evans back last game and lost to Atlanta.
I understand. Hey, listen, no, I get it. But listen, but here's what I'm saying. I think they blew their chance because of the fact, like you just said, who they have to go up against next. They still got to go against Seattle, a damn tough ass defense. Trust me, they're on my fantasy team. I know what they can do on the defensive side. And then 2, they still got to go up against Tampa, and they have to go in there and they have to beat Tampa. And Tampa is also fighting for a damn divisional spot. So you got two teams fighting for the divisional spot. One team, you can't tell me that you think that the Carolina Panthers are more athletically better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Maybe you can. I don't personally think so. But I think what Carolina has to face after this, if they would have got the win against the Saints, which is the win they should have gotten, that would have given them at least a little bit of cushion to absorb either the loss at Tampa or the loss at Seattle. And the fact that they don't have that cushion now they are solely reliant to win out if they want to get that division. That's why I think it's just a missed opportunity, given the competition they got to play going forward.
Yeah, I think it was a missed opportunity. I do, but I still think they've got to, like Chris says, the ball's kind of in their court still, so at least they've still got a pretty good chance. Next thing up, Juan had brought up the Bears, and I wanted to bring this up. The NFC North right now, the Bears are 10-4, Green Bay's 9-4-1, Detroit's 8-6. Chicago's got Green Bay, San Francisco, and Detroit left on their schedule in that order. Green Bay's got Chicago, Baltimore, and Minnesota in that order. Detroit's got Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and Chicago in that order. Of course, Detroit's got a tall order. They need help. Trying to get into the wild card. Probably not going to get the division, so they need help they almost got to win out to try to really. They need to beat Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and Chicago. They're all three winnable games. I'm not saying they're going to be favored. They're probably not going to be favored against Chicago, but I think they could be favored against Minnesota and Pittsburgh possibly. So they're three games Detroit could win. So, but I think they got to win out to make the playoffs to really have a chance. Who do you guys favor? I mean, you got Chicago and Green Bay are playing this week. That's a huge game because if Green Bay was to win, they would jump over Chicago. But they have Baltimore, Minnesota. Chicago's got the tougher schedule, guys. Chicago plays Green Bay, San Francisco, and Detroit.
Wait, say the last three again. You said Detroit, San Francisco, and
Chicago plays Green Bay, San Francisco, and Detroit. That's who their last three games are. Guys, I know Green Bay had an injury on defense, a big injury on defense, but I got to kind of give the edge to Green Bay to win this division with the schedule the way it is. Jay, what do you think?
If Michael Parsons was there and Christian Watson was 100% healthy and Kraft was there, we'd be talking about a whole different scenario, a whole different team. But Michael Parsons is on the IR. Kraft is on the IR. I don't know about Watson. I don't know is he healthy? I don't know if that injury took him out or not, so I don't know what his status is. Sorry about that. I had a brain fart. But yeah, definitely. I think in this one, I think it's going to be Chicago.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna no, excuse me. Rewind. Detroit is who I think is. Now they are inconsistent. They have been inconsistent, but I like Goff and St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs and what they can do. Now they don't have Laporta, I
don't think they can get the division though, Jay. They're 8-6.
Oh, okay, shit. I would look at the
division, but Green
Bay.
I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at the standing.
They would have to lose one or two of their. Yeah, a couple of these last 3 games.
At least two.
Yeah, I forgot they were 8-6. I would look at the stands. I thought they were a little higher than that. Okay, but no. If that's the case, I don't think Green Bay doesn't have Parsons. That's a big freaking loss. That team, everything they bought in, because you got to remember they gave up Kenny Clark, one of their run guys, to get this guy, and now he's on the IR. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna ride with Chicago on that. I don't think Green Bay has enough to get back in there.
I think the game that's going to decide it is the game this week. I think whoever wins this game is going to win the division because I think if Chicago was to lose to Green Bay, man, you got to turn around and play San Francisco and then Detroit, and that game may not mean anything to Detroit, but it could. Even without Parsons, if Green Bay can beat Chicago this week, I give the edge to Green Bay because I think Chicago's got a lot tougher schedule.
Right.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I like Green Bay to win this division, and a lot of it is because of that schedule. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% sold on the Bears yet.
I get that,
but with the schedule, I mean, it could work out. There's a chance that the Lions still could win this division if the Lions won out and the Packers beat the Bears, and then the Packers lost their last 2 games,
yeah,
it would come down to the tiebreaker between the Lions and the Packers.
Yeah.
Whatever the tiebreaker is, because they could tie at 11, both have 11 wins. So yeah, it could be. Well, the Packers have that one tie, a damn tie. That tie could save them.
That could hurt Detroit. I mean, yeah, I think Detroit's. I mean, they almost need Chicago.
But I'll be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if Detroit couldn't move up and maybe get second in this division. Because I can see the Bears maybe only winning one more game if they win one more game.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think they can.
If they lost those 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think the Lions could win. The Lions could win all 3, but they could all. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting what happens there. But as of right now, I'd favor Green Bay, even with losing Parsons. I still like that defense, and that offense has been playing a lot better since they got some of the receivers back. So yeah, I'd go with Green. I'm gonna go with Green Bay in that division.
I am slightly because of the schedule. I think Chicago's got a really tough schedule, and Chicago will probably prove me and Chris wrong. They'll probably win all 3 of them damn games, but because
take this and take it against us. Mike Hughes would be so angry with you right now. He wouldn't even talk to you right now.
Got a couple more little things here, guys. Phillip Rivers has been announced to be the starter coming up this Monday night against the San Francisco 49ers. Chris, what do you think? I think it's the right move. I'd rather start him and than I would put the rookie in. Just my opinion. Not that I dislike the rookie. He's a lot more mobile and stuff, but San Francisco would send the blitz and be all over him. Yeah, I think Phillip Rivers is the right choice. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think you have to go with Rivers. I think he gives you the best chance to win. And I mean I know we're not in a great spot, but we're still playing to try to find a way in if they win these last 3 games. So I think it's the right move. He didn't play terrible last week, and I think out of the options you have right now, he's the quarterback that gives you the best chance because he can get your offense in the right play. The stuff he can do with his head is a lot more. I think is what people don't realize, and I think that's what makes him the better option. But yeah, I think it was the right move.
Yeah, it sucks because if we could have pulled out that game against Seattle, we would have put us in a lot better situation. We possibly could have lost to San Francisco. Now you got to win the next 3 in a row. But the good thing about that is it's 2 divisional games. They're going to be tough games. If we can find a way to beat San Francisco, then we got Jacksonville and Houston. I think I can't remember what order, but they really don't make a difference. But got them as our last 2. What'd you say, Chris?
That order: Jacksonville, then Houston.
Okay, so Houston will be the last game of the year. I mean, 2 rivalry games, going to be tough games, and we would have a chance. I'm saying a great chance, but we'd have a chance. So we got to get because we're only a game back behind Houston right now. So we've got a shot if we can upset San Francisco, and it would be an upset. I mean, let's be honest. At least it is at home. That's a plus. But we'll see how it goes from there. Jay, your thoughts on them starting Rivers?
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, y'all almost beat Seattle with Rivers. I mean, if you could almost beat Seattle with old man Rivers back there, why would you not write him again? I mean, honestly, why not write? I mean, like I said, the one thing I loved about your team is the fact that your offensive line, which I always love a good offensive line, protected him because they knew that dude can't run. And so it's all on them. So I thought they did a good job. And if they can do that same kind of job against San Fran like they did against Seattle, who's to say you can't beat them, to be honest with you?
Yeah, I think our team – got to give our team a lot of credit because they really stepped up. Offensive line stepped up. Defense stepped up. Everybody stepped up and played the best that they could. And we was limited at quarterback. Let's be honest, we was. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, we got a guy who hadn't played for 5 years.
Everybody stepped up with fucking Shane Steichen at the end of the game. Throw a pair of fucking balls.
Hey, what week did Jones go down on? Do you remember?
Last week.
Was it
last week was the week where he went down with his Achilles, but it was like 3 or 4 weeks before that is when he broke his leg.
Well, not last week. Was the week before was when he went down with Achilles.
Yeah, this was the first game.
So against Jacksonville, did Leonard play? Did Leonard play the whole game against Jacksonville?
Most of it.
I need Leonard to come back, dude. I need Leonard to come back. I need him to come back in the worst kind of way because he got Pittman 16 points. You know how much I got with Old Man River? Like 5.60.
Yeah. I think
bring Old Man right back. No, we ain't putting Leonard out there.
I think Leonard may have a future. I mean, he could be the future Colts quarterback 3 or 4 years.
I will say this though. Hey, that secondary. If one thing to note about San Fran is that secondary is suspect. Like you can Pittman or Alex Pierce or whatever. If they can find that, if they can get a little bit of separation, that would definitely be beneficial.
Let me ask you, Chris. Do you think having another week, and even going to have a couple more days since we don't play the Monday, to plan out maybe a better offensive plan for Rivers and what he can do and can't do? Because you only had 3 or 4 days last week.
Oh yeah, I think it'll look better this week. I think the offense will look better this week than it did last week. I really do. Because like now you have a full week to prepare. Last week you had like 3-4 days basically by the time he got in there and everything. So yeah, and now you have tape of what he can do in the game. You've seen what he can do. So yeah, I think the offense will look better this week than what it did last week. And I think Rivers is going to be a lot more comfortable.
Yes.
Beginning of the game, like, he hadn't done it for 5 years. So it did, and he made it through the game. Isn't hurt. Like, I think he's going to go in there with a little more confidence than what he did last week as well. At least maybe not more confident, but at least more comfortable feeling because hey, this ain't the first game in 5 years. I knocked off a little bit of that rust. So
we have to look at what happens. We have to look to take advantage of San Francisco's defense because I think that, and whether Rivers has the arm, I'm not saying throw the ball 40 yards downfield. I don't know if he's got that arm to do that, but they're going to be up. They're going to be up in our receivers' faces. I mean, they're going to play tight on us. So if you can get a little separation, there's going to be opportunities. Whether he can make those throws or not.
Well, you hit the nail on the head right there. Is can he make those long? Because I know when I was watching, he didn't look like he could. He wasn't cranking them that far. No. 10, 15 yards, whatever. I think he's which I think is why Tyler Warren would probably be a good fantasy pickup. But
that last one he tried to throw, he threw it about 40 yards.
He did, and it was not a Hail Mary.
They put about 4 pounds of icy hot and a couple of syringes up in there. Feel nothing. Here you go. What did you see him doing on the sidelines?
I'm just saying he put something on that one. That was that was one of the actually came out.
I saw him. He was good. Did y'all see him on the sideline when he was doing this? He was like, man, that 40-yarder, that took it out of me. Look, we only good about 10 to 15 after this. Okay, 10 to 15, guys. That's all we got. 10 to 15. I'm sorry, I'm done. I'll leave
I think we got to look at some more screens because we've got good offensive linemen who can block. I think we got to find a way to get our tight end used even more. He tried to go to him, wasn't as successful, I think, as they would like to. So I think they'll work on that. I think we'll play better now. Whether that doesn't mean our defense played fantastic. So whether they can come up with that kind of performance again, I don't know because Seattle's averaging 31 points a game, and we held them to 6 field goals. So that's pretty damn good. So,
by the way, Joe, I don't think it's by a shoelace that we're hanging by. You might want to try more like dental floss. But anyway,
Cowboys.
Yeah, he said Cowboys by 1% hanging on by a shoestring. I said that ain't a shoestring. I said we got some dental floss.
Yeah, that's some thread, man. That's a cheap fabric thread.
You guys Colts winning. Joe has the Colts winning on Sunday. You guys beating San Francisco. Do you believe the Eagles can beat Washington? Yeah, I believe they can beat Washington. Because Mariota's playing, Ertz is out. They do have McLaurin. How are you saying?
I like him. I like him better with Mariota myself right now.
Yeah.
Daniels wasn't healthy. I'm not saying Daniels not a good quarterback. He wasn't healthy. He was coming back trying to play. I think that he was in a little bit of a slump, sophomore slump. I think Mariota gives him a better chance right now. Washington played really good last week, played like crap the week before. They've been really inconsistent, but they play each other twice, I think, in the next 3 weeks, Washington and Philadelphia. That's a rivalry game. Washington beat them last year towards the end of the season. I wouldn't be shocked if Washington don't put one on them.
I think to what Joe's saying, like they might get one. Eagles aren't losing 3 in a row. I just don't see that happening.
No.
Buffalo game, that's a maybe. Yeah, and one of the Washington games, I can see that, but I don't think you beat Washington twice. Or I don't think you lose to Washington twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, guys. Ready to get out? Hey, tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, Tuesday night Hoop Talk. Check that out. I think it's going to be interesting. We'll be talking some basketball. So I think even a little college, a little NBA. So tune in for that, please. And we'll be back tomorrow in the afternoon show.
Joe, tune in at 9 o'clock tonight Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern, because I will tell you what I think about that Rockets game and how that infuriated me. So you want to catch out that? Check us out. Again, link trees in the description. You can check out all of our content right there, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. Y'all be good.
Yeah.